Welcome to the Bronx Journal. I'm your guest host, Jose Ventura. Founded in 1999, the organization known as Cool Culture helps low-income families access and enjoy New York City's cultural life in order to provide educational experiences for our children. Here to tell us more is the Executive Director, Candace Anderson. Welcome to the show, Candace.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. I am very pleased that you are here with us today. Let me ask you, how these organization came about,
Sure.
and who you are.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Cool Culture was founded in 1999 by two educators, Gail Velez and Winna Myers. Both of them had used arts and cultural opportunities in their classrooms and with their own children. But their concern was, loving arts as they did, that when they walked into the city's museums, far too often the audience looked the same. It was without people of color. And so what they wanted to do was develop a strategy for making sure that all New Yorkers, regardless of income, could enjoy what the city's museums, botanical gardens, and zoos have to offer.
Okay, so how do you guys make that happen, really?
Sure. One of the keys to what we do is addressing three barriers. The first is the cost barrier. First of all, we're in a recession, but even in 1999, the cost for museums got really exorbitantly high for families. If you're talking about bringing just yourself, it could be difficult. But then if you're adding to it a couple of kids and a spouse, it's a lot of money to lay out. So what we developed is something called the Cool Culture Family Pass. It provides up to 5 family members with free admission to arts and cultural institutions around the city. When we were founded, there were just 12 museums, zoos, gardens that accepted the pass. But now we have 80 museums. So in the Bronx, we have places like the Bronx Museum of Arts, we have Morris Jumel Mansion, we have a range of places in Uptown Manhattan like the Guggenheim Museum, and all you need to do as a family that's enrolled in a child care or Head Start program is to use your card.
Are people really taking advantage of this program, really?
Absolutely. So over the years we've grown. The way a family gets a pass is that their child is enrolled in a child care or Head Start program, a universal pre-K program. Today we have over 400 programs that participate, and through those programs we reach 50,000 families throughout the 5 boroughs. Again, when you think about what's going on in the Bronx, we have 15,000 families that have a Cool Culture Family Pass.
Wow.
And last year, all of our families made 97,000 visits to our participating cultural institutions. So we know it's working.
So you pretty much got a lot of people involved in this program. I think people are really taking advantage of it, because of the fact that you say over 50,000 people are, committed to come to these programs. Mm-hmm. Now, how about in terms of the economically, let's put it that way.
Sure.
How you guys get supported economically?
Well, we have a range of support. So our partners are city partners. We get funding from the city, from a range of foundations and individual donations. We're always looking for people to donate who are willing to help children and families access the arts. So it's a range of strategies. And with that, we're able to provide the Cool Culture Family Pass. We also have a quarterly publication that goes out to all of our 50,000 families. So families can read in it about other families that have made museum visits. They can call into our 24-hour hotline where other families and museum educators are making recommendations about where families might be interested in going on a visit. And so we try to keep things really simple and fun.
And this is a citywide kind of program, right?
It is. So it's all 5 boroughs that are involved.
Now, can you tell, throughout the community, which ethnic group is taking advantage the most of this program?
Well, we know that we have a huge range of families that are participating. So about 52% of our families are Latino, about 30% are African American, and then we also have Asian families participating as well, Caucasian families. It's the whole range. And so really the way we feel is that everyone is paying their taxes. Museums really are a public resource, and we all have the right to enjoy what's housed inside them. There's really wonderful programming for families where you can learn to make crafts, you can just enjoy the arts themselves, you can decompress at a botanic garden together as a family, and it's a good way to get away from the economic pressures that so many families are experiencing right now.
Now, let's get into it. what looks like a typical day of co-culture? You know, like taking the kids to like a recreational place.
Sure,
How does it look like?
That's a really good question, because a lot of times families feel like they choose a museum, say the American Museum of Natural History, and they have to stay there the whole day. And so we encourage them to know, if you have little ones, especially 4- and 5-year-olds, for example, most of our children are about that age, that you can really just go, you can pack a lunch, and you can stay for a couple of hours. You can choose one exhibit, and you can ask your child questions about what it is they're interested in. So if it's the elephant room, you spend some time there, and then you can head back up to the Bronx, for example, and just decompress. The card is there 365 days out of the year, so the opportunities are really limitless.
So I was just thinking, you know, like, I guess, and you can answer that question definitely. With the kids, especially the younger ones, like, do they enjoy, for example, when they go to the zoo, because you know kids are crazy about animals.
Sure.
I guess that may be one of their favorites, right?
This is actually true. So we know that our families really enjoy going to the zoos. The American Museum of Natural History is extremely popular. We had 10,000 visits there last year. The Children's Museum of Manhattan is another really popular one. And I don't know if you know this because it's a little bit far away, but the Bronx Children's Museum, the Brooklyn Children's Museum reopened recently, and in the past 6 months since it's been open, we had 10,000 Cool Culture families make visits. So again, we know that families, this is something they really enjoy.
Okay, I guess that the feedback from the parents has been more positive than negative. What can you tell about that?
Well, you know, I think the reality is that families are just looking for something simple and fun to do with their children. And if you look around us in terms of finances, times are hard. And so when there are periods where there are barriers to entry to botanic gardens, zoos, museums, that's a problem. But when you have free entry, it's something that parents will really take advantage of with their kids.
And I guess, you know, like, you know, both the parents and the children are definitely, you know, being benefit from this program, because, like, I guess the children, you know, like, in terms of education, they are, you know, really getting the benefit out of it, right?
That's right, and parents are always looking for ways to make sure that their kids are prepared for school. And we know that there are certain types of characteristics that teachers look for when kids enter kindergarten. They want to make sure that kids have some vocabulary, descriptive language, that they are socio-emotionally ready, that they have a creative thinking and are curious. And these are things that trips to museums, looking at a piece of art, talking about colors, textures, all provide parents with the opportunity to strengthen in their children. Okay,
now, is this program only to low-class income people, or anybody can get enrolled in it?
Well, you have to have a child that's enrolled in an early childhood education program that's participating with Cool Culture. So right now we have about 400 programs throughout the 5 boroughs. And so if you're a parent whose child is enrolled in one of those programs, then you're eligible to get a Cool Culture Family Pass.
So this program is through the whole year. I mean, you guys year-round, right?
I think that's one of the things that's really wonderful about it. It's not just a summer program or a program on the weekends. It really allows parents the opportunity to set the schedule. When they have free time is when they can take their children on an adventure. And we encourage that. Okay. So, you know, we have early childhood educators in our 400 programs who work with parents so that they're aware of the kinds of activities that might be right for their child. So if I have a little boy who is really interested in subways, then you might take your child to the Transit Museum. Okay. If, like you said, your child is really interested in animals or has been talking about alligators forever, then that's a place where you could take your child.
Now, unfortunately, we are running out of time, but how can people get in touch with you if they want to get involved in this program?
Well, they can begin by checking out our website at www.coolculture.org. And for people who are interested in supporting what we do have a benefit on May 14th, which is going to take place at the South Street Seaport Atrium. We'd love to have people join us.
Okay, Candace, I appreciate it. Thank you very much for coming.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
That's all for the Bronx Journal. We'll see you next week.